Christmas is all about.
Hey y'all, it's Lindsay and welcome back to my face. So I filmed this whole clip last night on my phone and it was too large of a file and I was like crying and I'm gonna redo it. So last night, We the Kings, my favorite band. Hi, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I talk about We the Kings and Charles, Trippy, and the CTFXC and the DLV all the time, so you must be new here. If you are new, subscribe. They played a free show at my college last night. And it was basically like the coolest thing. Now, I won't go into like super detail, but basically real quick, I had met We the Kings in 2013. I saw them in 2011, open for Demi Lovato. Saw them in 2013 at their own tour at the House of Blues. Met all of them with like meet and greet, and I thought that was like the coolest experience of my life. I was wrong. Then at Warped Tour, their stage was too close to the merge tent to have a meetup that day, like a signing. But I went to Travis's like TEI group thing, and and it was like 8 of us, and he talked to us for like over an hour. Signed stuff, took pictures. So I have a vlog up from Warped Tour Day. I'll link that at the end of this video if you want to go see that. And so I have a picture from Travis with that. The first time I saw We the Kings, my camera, I had an older digital camera, and some settings somehow got changed. It was like malfunctioning, and so a lot of my pictures were like blurry and like not the best. So when I saw them in Warped Tour and I got like amazing pictures, I was like so excited. Well, and at Warped Tour I was like I was like 3 or 4 rows back from the barricade, and then some people left towards the very end. I was basically second row, so I was pretty close. Well, last night I got front center barricade right in front of Travis, and then Travis and Coley were like really close together, so Charles didn't have room to be in the middle. So Charles stood in between Hunter, and I always say like Hunter instead of Hunter. I'm like Hunter. I guess that's a southern thing, but he's from Florida, so he probably is used to it. So one of the girls actually that I met at the thing, there's a few of them, like we found each other on social media that day, but specifically to Floor and Kayla, who I have become close friends with because of We the Kings and talking to them stuff. Well, Kayla came to the concert. She drove up to my college, drove like an hour and a half from the city, and came, and it was so much fun. So she got there about like 4:40-ish, and we met up and we like were watching them sound check. So basically, I had a night class. I didn't go to it so I could go to the concert, but during the day I finished at 11:50, so I went and ate lunch in the dining hall, came here, got like ready, did my makeup. I didn't do a lot, very light makeup, but and the rec center parking lot is right across from my dorm where they were like practicing, so I was watching their Snapchats to see like when they were coming, if they came in. I could see from my window like down the road if they were coming in this way, so I looked. I was like, okay, I'll leave now. It's about 3, and 7 minutes ago Charles said they were in the parking lot. So I could have been there like right when they pulled up, but I'm kind of glad I wasn't, because I wanted to be there and see them, you know, I wanted to watch soundcheck because I've never like seen that for them. And oh, I was walking from my dorm to the rec center. It's like a 3-minute walk, and I'm halfway there and I hear someone like screaming about like drumsticks, like where's your sticks? Danny doesn't have any sticks. You can see it in Danny's vlog, and I'm like cracking up because I'm like, I hear Travis, they're definitely here already. So I'm watching them. I start to walk up because like they had barricades, but there was no one there, like, because it's a free event open to the public. No one was there saying like, people were there that didn't say like you can't go in. I was literally just gonna like walk a little bit further up and stand to the side. I wasn't gonna go up to the stage. I wasn't gonna say anything. Like, I was just gonna chill. And like I was wearing, I'll insert a picture. You'll see after what I was wearing, but my white We the King shirt and this hat. So I figured like they'd see the shirt or the hat. I'm wearing my other one today, but see We the Kings and wave or be like, oh hey, your shirt. Like, or if they saw I was in merch, maybe they'd come down and say hi or something. So I was just gonna chill. It didn't start till 5. The opener was at like 5 to 6. They ran a little late, but then We the Kings went on. So I was like, I don't have anything else to do. I'm just gonna chill. Maybe I won't stay the whole time and I'll go and come back. Oh, I stayed the whole time. So the girl was like, hey, one of the girls who was like working at camp, she's like, hey, they're actually not opening till 4:45, but like you can stand behind the barricade. You can, I'm like, oh, can I stay and like watch? She's like, oh, but I love your shirt. A little condescending, but it's fine. So then I think it was like 3. So I was standing there just watching, and then Frankie, the like videographer and photographer, not Coley, whoa, let me backtrack. So when I was first there, I was like just watching them all, and when I'm like walking back, when she's like, oh, you gotta go back by the barricades, Coley's walking in, and I said, hey Coley, I was like, hi, and he was like, hey, how are you? And I was like, okay, even if I don't see any of the other ones, I don't give them the gifts I have for them, I don't get to say anything, I just get to wave, whatever. I had an interaction with Coley, like, that's fine. So I'm chilling in like the parking lot. This other girl came up to make sure it was like free, before she came like for good later with like bringing her boyfriend or something. And she actually like watches the vlogs and like knew Charles and was like all excited. So that was so cool, because like I said, at Warped Tour I met other We the Kings fans, but I've never just like organically just like out in public been like, oh, you like We the Kings, CTFXC, and that's cool. I want more like IRL like friends for We the Kings, not just like internet people that like the same stuff. I need more IRL, so that way I can be like, hey, We the Kings have a concert, let's go, and I don't always have to like drag my parents. No offense, but I feel bad doing that. So anyway, so we're just like standing there, and I see Danny and Frankie walking out. Frankie's got his like big old camera, and Charles is walking out, and Frankie walks up with his big camera, and I look at Charles, and I'm like, hi, and there was two other girls at this point. One of the girls working it who like didn't know who they were but thought they were hot, and then this other girl who knew their music but like didn't know any of them. She was just like standing there chilling with us, like watching us just watch the band practice. And she said when he walked up, I was like, hi, and then I was like fangirling, and she thought it was really cute. Anyway, I'm standing there chilling, and they start to walk out, so I'm like, hi, and Charles is like, hey, and he's like walking, and he looks back to say like, hey, and he goes, oh, I like your hat. And I was like, oh, thank you, because this is his merch. And he like goes to keep walking, and he walks like 3 steps, and he turns around, and I'm still like watching. He turns around, and he's like walks to me, he's like, hey, what's your name? And like goes to shake my hand. I said, I'm Lindsay, you know, Lindsay. He's like, nice to meet you, Lindsay. I was like, can I get a picture? And I felt kind of weird. I was like, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, of course. So this other girl had walked up at that point, and she's like, yeah, do you want me to take it? And I was like, yeah. So I'll start now. She actually took 2. They both look very similar, but, and I was like, oh my gosh. So in my bookstore the other day, I was buying my college's onesies for 3 of the ones that had babies. I didn't have one for Danny and Carter because I literally didn't know We the Kings was a band until this week, but I had a present for Carter, and I sent it to Danny's P.O. box like last week with like a note about like the last time I saw you, not knowing I would see him like 4 days later. So he already had something, so I was like, well, I don't need to get him one of these. He already has something else. So I had one for Travis. Hunter's baby isn't born yet. Travis just had his baby, and Coley's little baby Hannah, who's adorable. And then my school has like little foam footballs. It was like cheap. I put that in there for his older but still like little kid Elliot, who is just like the cutest thing. Oh my gosh, his wife Monica always like posts stuff on her Insta story, and I'm just like, my heart melts. Also Kinsley is adorable. Anyway, so I'm like, while other people were like, hey, he's like, do y'all want pictures too? And they were like, sure, yeah. And Frankie's like filming this whole time, so Frankie was literally like filming me when Charles was like, what's your name? It's not in the vlog. I want to be like, hey Frankie, you want to like send me that footage? Maybe I'll get the nerve up and ask. But there is a clip when he's taking pictures of other people where you can see me reaching. I had a string backpack on, but I had all of like the gift bags inside of a bag, because I figured if for some reason I just had to be like, hey Trav, can you take these for everybody? Or hey Hunter, can you bring these to everybody? The bags are labeled, like I'll tweet you instructions or whatever if you have questions. Like, so I was like, oh, I could give them to like Charles now, but the 3 the gifts were still on stage. So I was like, I'll just give Charles his. So he's not having babies, and I don't want to get him like a shirt that he would maybe never wear, a t-shirt ever. So they had a book like on clearance, but it was Underwater Puppies, and I remember someone had given him a book in the vlog, I think, like Underwater Dogs, and he was like, this is like the cutest thing. Like, he's like, Allie, this is perfect for us. So I saw it, and I was like, okay, I don't think he has this one. I'll get it, and I'll tell him it's a belated birthday present. It was literally just Hunter's birthday last week. Had I seen him, I would have been like, this is the birthday present for like you and your baby, but I didn't. Hunter's the only one that I didn't get to like actually like physically say hi to, or like walk past or anything. So anyway, so yeah, so like Charles is like, oh, a birthday present. He's like, thank you. So him and Danny walk off to the green room, which was like the housing offices, which are like right behind the rec center. It was really funny when they were like on stage, or no, after, when We the Kings weren't in there. My friend Kayla, who came, had to use the bathroom, and I didn't want to have to, even though it's a little further walk all the way, like to like let her into my dorm on the first floor. We could have gone in, but I said, well, let's go see. The housing offices probably have a bathroom, and if they're not in there, be like, hey, can we use the bathroom real quick? Because I knew there was like workers in there that were like watching, like make sure. They had all these signs up in sort of picture that says like reserved for We the Kings. It was really cool. So I was like, oh wow, we're like in their green room. They were like in here earlier, just like hanging out. All the people that like worked the event and like took pictures for it got to like meet them and hang out with them and talk to them, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I was like, man, how do I like sign up to be a part of the student program like a day before? Like, how can I volunteer to hang out? So so we were just like standing there chilling, and then a few minutes later the main girl who's running it had just got there. She's like, hey, you guys, at that point the other girls had left. I was still there, and these other two girls came up who like watched the vlogs, hadn't seen them. They were like, I love Travis, like I love Charles, like I haven't seen. They're so excited, and I felt bad because Charles had literally just been there like 10 minutes before, so they were still in the green room. So she was like, yeah, y'all can come in. She's like, just don't like go up and like disturb them or like let them practice, but you can like watch from closer. And she's like, if they say hi to you or something. I was like, yeah, because before like I said like Charles literally like approached me, and she's like, yeah, oh how cute. So I'm standing there like off to with these girls, and then I walked off over to the other side so I could see better, and I'm just like standing there, not super close but close enough where they could see, and it was like daylight. And over the yeah, so I'm like standing by these girls, and Danny like walks past, and Danny was feeling awful. I knew from the vlog she was like fighting a cold. He actually threw up 5 times before they performed yesterday, and I felt so bad, but you literally couldn't tell he was sick. Like he was amazing as always. So anyway, so Danny walks by, and I'm like, hey Danny, and he was like, hey, and he looked up to say like, hey, and as I'm saying like, hey, like hi to Danny, the girls are like, Charles is trying to talk to you, and I hear like, hey, you with the hat. I guess he forgot my name, but he was like, you with the hat, and the girls are like, and I'm like, yes. He's like, thank you for the book. And I was like, what? And he's like, thank you for the book. And I'm like, oh, you're welcome. And then he like walked on stage, and I was like, oh. So then I'm standing off to the side on the other side, and Travis like over the microphone, he's like, I like your shirt. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And he like smiled, and I was like, okay. So he told me he liked my shirt. Cool. I saw Travis like kind of like whatever. Travis follows me on Twitter. The We the Kings account follows me on Twitter. So I knew if I just like tweeted pictures and stuff later, like, hey, great show. The band account had retweeted me like the day before. So I thought like maybe they would be like, oh, that's her. Like maybe like, oh, you always tweet me. Like you're the annoying girl who always tweets me like that. Oh, you're college. How fun. Or like Danny, because I always tweet Danny. And sometimes he'll like my random stuff. Like not always. I don't tweet them every day or anything, but like, you know, when I'm consistent with like keeping up with them and stuff, and Instagram and stuff. So we're like, you know, standing there just like watching the set. Kayla came, and it was like so much fun, and the best show. And you'll see clips from it like throughout as I'm talking, but oh my gosh, it was front and center barricade. Oh, the opening band were really good too. They're like a local cover band, really cute. Just saying. And We the Kings, oh, this one girl, she was like, they're all married and have babies. I was like, well, one of them's not married, but he has a newborn, and the rest of them are married with babies or married. And she was like, even the redhead, he's so hot. She's like, I'm wearing a dress, and none of them have tried to like wife me up yet. And I'm like, oh, because they're already all like wifed up. Danny's not technically like wifed up, but like he's in a committed relationship and has a baby, so like practically wifed up. She's like, really? And I'm like, yep. I'm like, they're all like in their 30s. And she's like, they look so young. And I'm like, they do? Like, I feel like they look young, but I feel like Coley and like Hunter and stuff like would look like they're in at least like late 20s, early 30s, which is basically what they are. Like, I feel like I wouldn't, like, I look young. I wouldn't say that like We the Kings look young for their age. I would say that they look their age or a little younger, but I wouldn't say like, oh, I thought they were like 21, the way she made it seem. Like, what? Like, yeah. not that they look old or anything, but you know what I mean, like they look, I feel like they look their age. They don't look like underage or anything. It was weird. So show was amazing. So at the end of the show, we're standing off to the side. The rest of the band had like snuck back to the green room because Trav was he did this version of Story of Tonight just like by himself, and like Frankie was filming. Frankie kept like running in front of me, so I like saw Frankie like all night. He's great. I like Frankie. I almost asked him for a picture too, but I'll get to that. So Travis is, and the girl's like, you're not gonna get meet and greet, you're not gonna get to see him and take pictures, like, and I know she kept saying that, like, no you won't, sorry. Some people even left. I know how Travis is, and if you ask for a picture, he's gonna stop and take pictures. So me and Kayla are standing kind of in front on the side, and we move a little ways down, so Travis comes out, and this, like, you have to ask him. So one of the girls goes, can we get a picture? And he's like, yeah, of course. And I'm telling you, you would have thought he was like Harry Dam Styles. When you see those like clips of, they jumped and like tackled him. Everyone like ran to him, and I was like, I just started to walk a little bit, and everyone behind me like pushed me forward. So I like ran to Travis, and the SPA girl was like, back up. And I'm like, y'all, back up, stop crowding him. Because I know how annoying that shit is. Like, and when people do shit like that, then it ruins, just stuff like that, it ruins it for everybody else. Because then Travis is like, oh, last time I went to Louisiana, you know, it's not controlled. And yeah, campus police probably should have said, someone's like, let's make a line. And one person took like a group photo, and then people just kept like, he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said yes. And he starts walking away, and everyone's like, and like this group of like SPA students is like protecting him, and everyone's like running after, like, please, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? And Kayla had driven a lot of hours, and I just wanted to like hand him the bag, because I knew that I could like go on my phone and tweet him, and he'd probably see it, like, hey Travis, you know, like, Travis, this is for you and the guys, like, and then I would explain, or I would, and I knew where the green room was, so I was planning, because it's across from my dorm, just chill outside my dorm and act like I'm on my phone, and just like not even say anything to them, just to be like, hey, or like wave goodbye, or even just like watch them leave, like, you know, or if they were just, you know, like watch them interacting like I did earlier, because like it's just so weird. It's like, you're right here, like next to where I live. Weird. So yeah, so Travis is walking, so he walks behind like the marching band, and I'm like kind of following him, and the girls are like said something to other people like, y'all need to like not follow us or something, and Kayla was like, hey Travis, after he took a picture with one of the marching band members, she's like, hey Travis, I drove, he was like, yeah, of course. She got a quick picture, it's really cute, and like a hug, and then he saw me and he goes, I like your shirt. He goes, oh, I love your shirt, or like, I like your shirt, and I was like, oh, thank you, and I said, and then he leaned in to give me a hug, and as he's like starting to walk, I said, wait, Travis, I have these gifts, baby gifts in here for you, I said, for you, Coley and Hunter, there's something in there for Elliot too, there's not one in there for Danny, because I sent him something to his P.O. box, and he goes, oh, thank you, and he like went to like give me a high five and like grabbed my hand, and he walked off. So I was like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just like kind of walk in that general direction. Kayla left to go home, and I was like, I'm gonna hang out by the green room across the street and just kind of watch. So I'm watching. I see Coley for sure still in there, and like Frankie. So Frankie starts to come out, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll like go be like, hey Frankie, like great job, you know, I love what you do with the band, you know, can I get a picture? Is that weird? Because like Frankie's a part of the crew, and like he's cool, whatever. So I'm starting to like walk, and Coley walks out, and I'm like, as he's walking, I'm like, hey Coley. I was like, Coley, and he was like, hey, how are you? Did you enjoy the show? Like, I didn't even have to ask, like, and I was like, oh, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, of course. Did you enjoy the show? And I'm like, yeah, it's my 4th time seeing y'all. And he was like, wow. And then we were like, we talked for like a good, like, not maybe close to, not a full minute, but we talked for a good second. I think I had like a conversation with Charles. It was kind of like brief, like hi, bye. It was still great, but Coley I actually like got to talk to. You know what I mean. And so I told him, I said, I have a gift for you. Travis has it. It's in a bag of all of y'all's. It says Hannah on it. There's a foam football in it for Elliot and a onesie in there for Hannah from like a Nichols stuff. And he's like, oh, thank you. That's so nice. He was like, tag me on social media so I can see it and give you credit. And then he goes, oh, he's like, oh, we gotta hug it out. And he gave me a hug, and I always have said this, Travis gives like the best hugs, but it was, And then so he walked away, and I was standing off to the side, just like, so then I'm just like chilling. Oh, so then I think either after Coley or right before, I see like Charles walk out, and I'm like, oh, bye Charles, like, I'm like, bye Charles, like, thanks again. And he's like, see ya. And I was like, so I got to tell him goodbye, and that was like really cool. And then, so I'm standing there just watching, and out walks Travis. And they're sitting there with like two of that, just standing on the curb. And Charles, I'm watching him, he's like on his Apple Watch, like, hey, Coley, you left already? Are y'all coming back for us? Like, I was literally just watching Charles like talk on this. It might sound creepy, but it wasn't, I promise. It comes from a place of love and admiration, not stalker-ish. So Charles is like on his Apple Watch talking, whatever. It was just really cool. So then I'm standing off to the side, and like Travis, and I can see Charles kind of like looking at me like he sees me watching him, and I was so tempted to walk up and be like, hey Travis, I don't mean to be rude, but one of the girls that was with him had been like with him all day and was being really protective, and a bunch of people walked past, probably didn't even realize that was a band of people that had just gone for the bonfire and not been at the concert or didn't really pay attention. Like, I'm like, you know who you're walking past? So I'm just standing there watching, and so many times I wanted to walk over or act like I was just walking back to my dorm and be like, oh, hey Travis, thanks again. Like, casually just be like, hey Travis, thanks again. But I just, you know, I had my time with Travis. I got a hug, I gave him the gift. I didn't want to be, like, I didn't want to bombard him and be all like up in his face, up in his grill. Like, you know, I wanted to, I saw Charles, you know, I said, bye Charles. I didn't want to be like, hey, can I get another picture? Or, hey, like, blah, blah, blah. Hey, can I be in your vlog? Like, I didn't want that. I don't want to be pushy or one of those fans that's like, hey, hey, hey. Like, I said hi. You know, I did approach Coley, but I know how Coley is. He's, like, the sweetest. I saw him at 2 times at Warped Tour when we were waiting on the side because Charles was going to come sign this girl's shoes, and then he forgot. But we were like, snacks, like calling for the crew to get one of them to come over. I knew that I was going to see Travis later, but I didn't know if he was going to be able to sign stuff. It said on the website he wasn't. He did anyway, but he signed my little booklet before Travis came over. Coley, and everyone was like, Coley! And he looked over and he like waved and he was like, hi guys! And then we were waiting outside to go into the room they put us in for Travis's little hangout thing. And Coley walks out, because it was like their green room. Coley walks out with food, and we're like, Coley, hey! And he's like, he smiled and waved, and I was like, hey. Coley's just like the sweetest. So I knew it wouldn't be an issue if he was like, no, we're in a rush to leave. Wasn't even gonna ask for a picture. I was just gonna be like, hey Coley, like, love you, great show. So I'm standing there just like, so, and I see Danny walk out, and I knew Danny had been feeling like shit. I even saw Danny vlogging. It was like Inception. I saw him like filming a vlog clip, like, hey guys. And he like did it twice. Like, I guess it was his ending for a vlog or something. I'm not sure. But Danny has thrown up 5 times. I didn't want to bother him. I've looked on social media since, and I think like 2 people asked him for pictures, but I didn't want to stop him or sneak over there and be like, hey, Danny. I knew he probably wouldn't have said no, but I knew he was feeling like crap, and I had said hi to him earlier in the day. I didn't want to bother him. Said he's not feeling well. I'm just going to like watch. That sounds weird, but I'm just going to like see him. It was so weird. Looks like I watched the vlogs and stuff. Just see Charles just like walking around. Like, because I've seen them at concerts and stuff. It's been on stage, or I met them at a meet and greet, you know, or just seeing them, like, just, like, existing is weird, because I watch it through a camera, so then to see what I see on the camera in person was like, whoa. So then the car pulls up with, like, Frankie or whoever driving, and Coley's in it, and they're getting ready to leave, and the SPA girls are like, bye, and Travis is like, bye, like, thanks again. And I walk over right as they're about to get in, and I'm like, bye, Travis, and he looks over at me. He looks over at me like, oh, who said that? That sounds like a new voice. And he was like, oh, bye, I like your shirt. Wait, I told you that already, didn't I? He has ADD, he says it all the time. He's like, wait, I told you that already, didn't I? And I was just laughing, and I was like, bye, Danny, feel better, as he was getting in. He probably heard me. He didn't, like, he kind of looked in my direction, but as Danny was getting in. So yeah. And then today, or last night, I tweeted something like, hey, tonight, Travis told me he liked my shirt a total of 3 times, and something else. I'll include a screenshot now, but, Travis, I woke up today and I had a tweet from Travis that was like, and now I've told you 4 times, I like your shirt. And I was just like cracking up. Last night, right after the show was over, like, I pulled up my phone to check Twitter just to see if they've said anything. I figured they hadn't. And right after I met Charles, I had tweeted in my pictures. So somewhere between the show ending and me being like, hey, bye Charles, and he was like, see ya, he liked it. I don't know at what point. So then last night I took some really good pictures on my phone with portrait mode, and I got this like really, really good picture of Charles. Like, I love it. And so I tweeted it to him last night. I was like, hey, feel free to post this like really cool picture I got. And today he liked it. So we'll see what happens, but it's like a really good picture. And then I had tweeted Travis this picture from when they were sound checking, when he put his hair over his eyes with this to cover the sun, and he looked like Cousin It. And I was like, looking good, and he liked that too. And I think and then he replied to me, and I was like, ah. So I haven't, and I tweeted Danny something, but I know he feels sick and like wants to just be home with his baby and stuff. So probably later in the week, or like tomorrow, later on the weekend, I'm gonna start like posting some photos. Kayla's phone was broken, so I took as many pictures and videos as I would have on my own, but I'm also sharing them with her, so they're kind of like our joint pictures. And there's a few things. She's like, hey, can you like take a video of this? And I was like, sure. Most of it was a video I wanted anyway, like Just Keep Breathing or Sad Song, or they covered the middle. The night before the show, Kayla tweeted them like, hey, I love your cover of the middle, you should do it again. And I don't know if they did it because of her tweet, but they haven't played that song in like such a long time, like the cover of it, and they did it. And she was like, and she looked at Travis, and I don't know if he recognized her, or maybe he recognized her, or he just knew, but she looked at him and she was like pointing at him, and she was like, thank you. And he looked and like gave her like a thumbs up, and I was like, he knows. So anyway, last night was the coolest. And yeah, hello We the Kings. You guys are a band that I first saw open for Demi Lovato, and I was your fan back then. Like, I knew who you were. I listened to your music. I used to listen to Radio Disney, and at like 1 in the morning I'd be like on the computer playing games, like in the summer when I didn't have to go to bed yet. And Skyway Avenue and like Heaven Can Wait would come on the radio, and it'd be like 1 in the morning, and like everyone else in my house would be asleep, and I'd be awake. It's just like listening, like, you know, like dancing to like Radio Disney replay at like 1 in the morning, and I'd hear it like 2 or 3 times because I would just be up. And that's like a memory that I have, like hearing that on Radio Disney. But I used to listen to your stuff. Obviously, I was a Demi Lovato fan, still am. That's why I saw her in concert, and I saw y'all, and I knew who you were, and I had looked you up, but I didn't necessarily, like, I knew Travis and I knew Danny, but I was at that show and I said, wait, We the Kings got a new bassist? Wait, and they have a keyboardist now? Because like I said, I knew who y'all were, but at the time, I saw y'all in November of 2011, and literally just like at the end of September, Charles had started touring with the band, and shortly during like the Demi tour, y'all asked him to be like a permanent member. And yeah, so I saw y'all, and that day changed everything. I went home, looked y'all all up on social media, found the vlogs, and I've been watching Charles' vlogs since 2011, and I've been watching Danny's vlogs since the first vlog, and being in those vlogs last night was really cool. And I met y'all in 2013 at the House of Blues. I met Travis at Warped Tour, and so technically meeting 4 out of 5 again. I couldn't find Hunter. I didn't technically like meet Danny, but like we said hi, you know. Meeting y'all and seeing y'all at my college, you know, for the 4th time is just so cool, and I'm gonna cry, but it was such a special experience, and I want to thank you guys for making it what it was. And, you know, Travis started crying at one point, talking about, like, what we mean to him and how We the Kings wouldn't exist without us, and I, like, started crying because it's such a special experience. You know, I have other favorite bands. I've been, like, a Jonas Brothers fan since, like, I was, like, 10, you know, and I see them in concert, you know. But We the Kings is officially the band, people that I have seen the most times now. I've seen y'all 4 times. I'm gonna, hopefully, I'm gonna see y'all every time it's ever possible you're ever here. I would even travel to see you guys, so we'll see. But you guys are just my favorite people, and I just love y'all to pieces. And I want to just say absolutely thank you so much for everything that you've done and everything that you are as a group and as people. You're just the nicest, sweetest people, and I heard nothing but good things about y'all as I was walking back to my dorm, and I love you all very much. And I'm gonna start crying, so I have to go, but thank you for being everything that you are, and your music, and existing, and being just the sweetest people, and taking time to give a hug, take a picture, listen to me when I say I have a gift for you and not just walk off, and Coley actually letting me explain myself and not saying, oh, thank you, I'll get it from Travis, and walking off, and making time to give me a hug, and like just being the sweetest people ever. I love you all so much. And yeah, I want to do like the W, but like I can't because my camera's in my hands because like I'm vlogging, but like you get the point. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're hungry for videos every Food Friday or whenever I actually post, and I will catch up with you guys in my next video. Go check out Charles and Danny's vlogs from yesterday. They will be linked in the description, and I'll like put them at the end as like suggested videos. So go watch it, go listen to We the Kings, go follow them all on Twitter, and go check out my Twitter to see pictures and stuff from the concert. Bye! Jingle bell, bell, bell.